Welcome to the Essential Women of Liberty. In this series, we explore the lives and ideas of some of the most influential women over the past few centuries whose work contributed enormously to the democratic, prosperous, and free societies that dominate the world today. One striking characteristic of the women throughout history who left their mark on the fight for liberty and freedom is their diversity. Some were academics who, despite enormous barriers, greatly influenced their disciplines and were eventually recognized for their contributions. For example, Anna Schwartz's path-breaking work on the role central banks play in inflation helped to change monetary policy around the world. And Elinor Ostrom, the first woman to be awarded the Nobel Prize in Economics, fundamentally changed our understanding of the role local, non-government organizations play in effectively governing the use of common resources, like forests and watersheds. Rose Director, better known as Rose Friedman, was also an influential economist in her own right before marrying and then collaborating with her husband, future Nobel laureate Milton Friedman. In fact, Rose's early academic work on the nature of people's spending behavior laid the foundation for some of Milton's research that was cited in his Nobel Prize. Rose, along with her husband, also made enormous strides in advancing greater choices in education, particularly for lower-income families. Mary Paley Marshall was another accomplished economist, but unlike Rose Director, who came after her, Marshall faced significant barriers in her career and was actually barred from graduating from Cambridge University despite studying there, simply because she was a woman. Despite these limitations, Marshall made significant contributions to economics through her collaborations with her husband, noted economist Alfred Marshall. Most recently, Deirdre McCloskey, a distinguished professor of economics, history, English, and communication at the University of Illinois, has made enormous contributions across a wide area of academic interests, including economic history, the use of rhetoric, and scientific method. In addition, her Bourgeois trilogy, published between 2006 and 2016, explaining the origins of the historic prosperity that began in England and spread to many Western countries, is considered by many to be a landmark breakthrough in our understanding of why some economies prosper while others stagnate. Other women featured in this series, like Rose Wilder Lane, Isabel Patterson, and Ayn Rand, were successful journalists and popular fiction writers who affected and shaped the general public with compelling stories about the benefits of freedom, individualism, and equality. And while some were raised on the American frontier or in the Soviet Union, and even in 18th century Britain, others were products of modern cities, like Jane Jacobs, who devoted her life to fighting for bottom-up decision-making within communities by the families and businesses that lived there, rather than distant, unaccountable bureaucrats and urban planners. In fact, throughout history, many women have been fighting for equal rights and freedoms. Mary Wollstonecraft, an English writer and philosopher, and Harriet Martineau, an English social theorist who many consider to be the first female sociologist, were both ardent and vocal supporters in the mid-1800s of equal education and non-discriminatory pay for women, a radical idea at the time, and they were also public opponents of slavery and racist policies in Britain and around the world. Many women profiled in this series faced adversity because of their gender, but yet each managed to leave an indelible mark on the democratic, prosperous, and free societies that many people around the world enjoy today. To learn about more essential women of liberty, visit essentialwomenofliberty.org. And to learn about more essential scholars, visit essentialscholars.org.